back in time when you and I were uncomplicated. Let's go back in time before I felt what I felt when you did what you did that night. Once upon a time, I thought you were the man in my mind. But oh, how fooled we can be. Will we see with our eyes, but our hearts lead the way blindly?
If you pay the price, you get what you want, I'll get it for you.
Really?
Now, if you want something really young, that 200 it just costs a little more than that.
Sure.
But how young you talking? Talk to me.
Well, how young do you have?
Well, I don't have nothing younger than 14.
Okay, no, 14 is good.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Well, you're gonna have to add something to that.
Sure.
What you willing to add to that too? Just talk to me.
Well, like I said, this is my first time out.
You know. Now you.
So the girls over there cost 2, is that?
That's the women.
The women.
Now, if I told you 2, and you know you want something young, and I tell you to add something to it, just tell me. You just pick a figure to that.
Well, I guess what? 3?
3. You do 3, you got it.
He definitely just beat us, like, he'll probably stump you out, like when you're on the ground, physically stump you. Yeah. He'll probably hit you with a belt, physically slap you, punch you.
He would beat me with broomsticks, candles. He would burn me with candles. He would take metal hangers and beat me with them and poke me with them, belts, anything that he can get his hands on, he would beat me with. The one time he had beat me so bad that he had ruptured my spleen and it put me in the intensive care unit. So it's like, once you knew that he could almost kill you, you'd rather do what he says than to get beat again.
If you come to them, that'll be like 150.
Okay.
If they come to you out call, that'll be like 200.
Okay. And I got a hotel room, so that's an out call.
Yeah, that's
okay. So 200 each.
Yeah, an hour.
Okay, so I'll give you 400. Or do I give them 200, or I give it to you?
Me, right
okay,
now.
so I'll give you 400, and then we can tip the girls whatever on top of that.
Yeah, okay, that's about.
Is that all right with you?
Hold on, I run all this.
Okay.
These my girls.
Oh, okay.
They don't do nothing but look pretty and
We're all the same age. There would be a few girls that I knew that were like in their 20s or whatever, but they had been doing it since they were our age anyways. I did wait till 12, and these girls were doing it since they were like 8 or 9, and now they're like 23.
I want to show them and tell them like what it feel like to be that hoe, to be degraded all the time, to be hit on, to be manipulated, to be sold all day, every day. Who was there to stop it? Nobody was there to stop it.
This year we received 708 missing persons reports, of which 674 have been closed and 34 remains open. We have no reason to believe that 34 open cases are in any way related. I have made it a priority to give the same level of attention to each and every case. Part of that strategy has been to increase the amount of exposure these cases receive through social media and press releases. We all recognize that when someone is missing, there's a risk that they're in danger or need our help.
9 months after Elizabeth Smart was abducted from her bedroom, she was back in the arms of her parents.
11 years ago, Alabama teenager Natalie Holloway went missing on a graduation trip in Aruba.
I can't tell you how many stories I saw about Elizabeth Smart, and I can't tell you how many network news hits there were about Chandra Levy or about the disappearance of Natalie Holloway.
When my daughter Hope was young, she was a straight-A student.
I was a normal, regular kid. I loved to do theater, I loved soccer and cheerleading.
Hope was filled with innocence, joy, and ambition.
When I was 14, my whole life changed.
My daughter Hope was kidnapped by sex traffickers. Hope was forced into prostitution.
It all started because I posted on a social media site that I hated my mother. A woman messaged me back telling me that I could go stay with her and we'd go partying. She showed up within the next 45 minutes and I was gone.
The suspects target girls who post comments about a negative home life on social media sites and chat rooms.
The 14-year-olds, oh, I hate my mom, she doesn't understand me, I can't wait to get out of here.
That's how police say William Jacobs and Shayla Williams met a young North Texas victim who was just 14 years old.
I walked into the motel room. I see a man sitting in the corner. The first thing that came out of his mouth was, "Take off your clothes so we can take these pictures." And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna take my clothes off. He said, "So you wanna do this the hard way?" He hit me a couple times and after that I was out like a light. I woke up in the closet. The closet that I was in was about the size of me right here. After they took me out the closet, they took crushed up pills and they forced them down my throat. After they force fed me pills, I would try to move my body, but I couldn't pick myself up. They made me feel catatonic. After they drugged me, I had my first client. In order to survive my kidnapping, I had to create an alter ego. They told me that my name wasn't Hope anymore, it was Sophia. So that's the name that I took on. Sophia is the girl that walks with her head high. She was the one who dealt with all the clients and the Johns and the beatings. When I was with the traffickers, they never fed me. My source of food would be picking it out of the trash, drinking the water from the faucet. I bit my nails a lot. One time I was taking a shower and he busted it open and beat me with the belt because I locked the door.
The couple is accused of trafficking the teen in 8 different states in only a 3-week period.
The traffickers made me sleep with men in each state, over 20 men a day. I could never be Hope again after that. I was never going to be the same girl.
By night and by day across the country, young American girls controlled by pimps are sent out to have sex for money, sometimes 20 men a night.
We had to make at least $1,000 a day. There was no days off.
They have to sleep with 10 to 20 strangers per night.
I would probably have up to like 20. I was so exhausted. I didn't want to do it anymore.
He hit me a few times, and then he had a gun and he pointed it at me and he was like, "You need to do what I say." He was like, "I will kill you."
Savannah was looking at websites when she was lured away. A study says the average age a girl enters prostitution is 12 to 14 years old.
So one day, I think I was 13. I didn't really know a lot about anything. So I went online and I wanted to, I don't know how I came across like this website for like, you know, like sugar daddies, guys would pay for your stuff. I didn't know that I would have to have sex with them. I just thought they were gonna, I don't know what I was thinking, but I just thought that, you know, they would buy me stuff and just because I was pretty. I don't know. I still did not understand what was happening, like completely, even when we went to the hotel room until it happened.
Katarina Rosenblatt says she was only 13 when her mother, escaping an abusive relation, took her to live in a hotel in Miami Beach. She remembers her mother worked long hours and she wandered alone.
Soon enough, there was a trafficking ring that spotted my vulnerability, being alone, having low self-esteem coming from a dysfunctional home life. You know, they spotted that. And so there was an older girl that recruited me, and she came up to me as a big sister. And so she was 19 and thin and pretty and everything I thought I wanted to be.
Kat says the girl's name was Mary, and she had a plan.
She introduced me to her pimp. And I didn't know he was a pimp. I didn't know he was a scam artist at the time. I thought he was just a nice man, like a father.
Soon after, she remembers finding herself inside a hotel room, dressed as a bride, convinced she was playing a game. She remembers the locked door and drugs on the table.
This guy who was half-dressed with a beer belly hanging out, ready to partake in his transaction. He had negotiated the price with Mary. I should say 20 years ago, the price was $550 for a virgin girl.
Kat says that time she managed to talk and plead her way out of this situation. But soon after, she says she was tricked again, this time by a friend's father.
It came in a place that you would never suspect it, and that was in my middle school. I was in 7th grade, and they blindfolded us and took us to a brothel in Broward County, from Miami to Broward. They had paid her father $40 for each of us.
She doesn't remember how long she was there for and how many men came by.
They let me know what would become of me if I ever told anyone. They told me that they knew where I lived, they knew who my teachers were, they knew what school, they knew everything about me. There was nothing I could do to protect myself, and at 14 years old, I didn't even know where to begin.
She dropped out of school and became addicted to drugs. Prostitution didn't seem so foreign anymore. She met up with a pimp. Her dreams were crushed.
I'm nothing but a drug addict and I guess a prostitute for these guys. At 15, I had given up on myself. I belonged to the street. I belonged to whoever would show me kindness or give me cocaine.
Maria has been looking for her daughter who ran away when she was 15.
I haven't heard from her.
In his documentary, A Path Appears, Nick Kristof continues his lifetime mission, going in search of missing girls. With an anxious mother looking on, he searches some of the websites where the girls are most often advertised. He spots a picture and the offer, Mixed Latina Catering to Your Needs.
There's a Mixed Latina Catering to Your Needs. Emily?
Can you click on it?
Yeah, would you recognize?
Yeah. Well, let me see, and then I'll... Maria. Maria. That's her. We have to make sure.
Oh. Is that
Okay, that's her. Oh my.
no.
Okay, look at this is look
Well,
at
now we found her.
We found her, but listen.
We found
now
her.
we have her. Now we have her.
We found her. We found her. We found her. One can get into the police.
So what happened with these men? Will they find them too?
As he continues his search, Nick tells Maria her daughter has been trafficked in more than one state.
So she was taken to New Hampshire as well. And there's another girl with the same phone number, and at least one of them, maybe a couple. So it's evidently somebody who's running a couple of girls and, you know.
She thought he was her boyfriend.
I'll be right back.
But as recounted in Eden, the film based on Chong Kim's book, Not in My Town, he was a recruiter for the sex slave trade.
I didn't really know how to put my thoughts together at that moment. You're just in shock. All I could think about is the time when he would caress my face, how much he loved me, and how much I believed in him. And then all of a sudden, it was a 180, and I'm thinking, what happened? Where did it go wrong?
You went through those initial days of captivity, and then you were taken to an environment where there were other girls.
Yes.
And you were sex slaves.
Yes.
And you were sold to the neighboring community as sex slaves. Walk me through those days.
Each unit had about 20 to 25 girls in each unit. And then girls in the US would be traded off. So it was like a giant human factory.
Today's gonna be a good day. I can feel it.
Yeah, I'm
I'm sure I don't have to explain to you the consequences if you cause trouble for me.
Early on in her capture, Chong did try to escape. In the film, she runs to a house. But in reality, Chong had fled to a much more public place.
Stop. I've got it under control. She's an addict. She's very dangerous. You don't want to get mixed up in this. You might get hurt.
I went to a shopping mall. People were gathering their kids and pulling away. And I said, somebody help me, he's going to kill me, he's going to kill me. People pulled away. He walked in with a military uniform, grabbed me by the hair, yanked my head back. And I saw the security went like this. And as soon as he threw me in the car, he said, "You're nobody." And that proved it.
How long did this go on?
From 1995 through 1997. And I ranked up as a madam in 1996.
I can help you. You want to help me? You want to be a part of this?
That's when I started seeing the infrastructure of the organized crime. I started seeing how many corrupted politicians as well as very powerful people. Corrupted politicians as well as very powerful people were also involved in fueling the fire as a sex trade of children.
I'm asking if you're actually committed to this.
Then it was like, well, who do I go to now?
What are you gonna do, shoot her?
No. You are.
Are there many people who are still in the position that you were in back in the 90s?
Yes.
How many do you think there are? Are we talking tens, hundreds, thousands?
More than 1,000 as far as victims. For madams, a woman had to use her feminine charm to get more girls. There was a story in New Jersey about a 17-year-old girl who sold her little sister, 7 years old, to traffickers, and she made money off of her. We're having girls going into junior high schools and high schools, pretending to be friends with these kids in school. I cannot get rid of the faces of the girls I couldn't save. I cannot get rid of the screams. I was forced to watch a young child being raped and sodomized in front of me. And so it's always in my mind.
How did you end up meeting? Do you call him Shy Boy, or do you?
I call him Shy.
You call him Shy.
Yeah, that's what everybody like really calls him. Like they know him by Shy.
How did you guys like first start talking?
I came across his tattooing page on Instagram, and I saw he had a lot of followers, and I liked his tattoos, so I would like his pictures, and then he started liking mine, and he would comment on my pictures, and we exchanged numbers. And then we started exchanging pictures and talking more and stuff like that. So, and that was when I was like 15 or 14. We started talking and texting. And then once I was 16, I had left from, I think I was home at the time. And I left from home and I went with a boyfriend. And me and my boyfriend got in an argument, and Shy kept telling me like to go with him and that I had a good like chance of getting money, and he was gonna go to Vegas for his birthday, and he just wanted me to go and have fun with them. And then I paid for a taxi from Modesto to like San Jose. It was like $200, and I paid for it to go meet up with Shy. And then from then, Shy said we were going to Las Vegas, and next thing you know, we're at his tattoo shop, and he like tells me he wants to try it out or whatever, and we ended up having sex. And from there, we went to Motel 6, and I didn't know exactly what was going to happen or go on, but he ended up posting an ad for me and taking pictures of me and all that. So from there, he had me meeting with guys, and I didn't really know what to do, but I was with Araceli at the time and Jocelyn, and me and Araceli were the ones who were working and stuff. And then when I wanted to leave, Shy told me I couldn't leave.
So where did this go from there?
It went to me like trying to leave every day. I would call people. I would walk around the hotel calling people, telling them to pick me up. And Shai told me that if I had anybody try to pick me up, that he would kill them before they took off with me. Yeah, so I was like really scared, and I told them, never mind, don't come, like, because I care about like my friends too, and I didn't want anything bad happening to them. So I told them not to go. It was embarrassing because my brother found my ad online one time, my older brother, and he told me too, like, what are you doing with your life?
So what did it end up being like when you were, I guess, working? What was like a normal day?
Normal day was basically like, at first, like, I didn't do drugs or anything at first. Like, Araceli was the one who like would be there, and I remember one day she came out, and she went outside to get something from Shai, and then she came back and she had like a little bag of white stuff. I didn't even know what it was. Like, I didn't know anything about it, and she started like breaking it up and stuff, and I was getting scared because I didn't know what it was. And she would do her drugs, and she was like, it helps me stay up. And the first time I worked for him, I only had probably like about like 5 to like 8 guys a day. And as soon as the guys came and left, like as soon as they walked out the door, he came to collect the money. He wouldn't let me hold on to it or nothing, and he told me I was gonna get money out of it. I never got any money or nothing out of it. And so yeah, but when I started working for him again, it was up to like more than 20 guys a day, because he would tell us, you guys have to make $1,000 and then you guys could go to sleep. So that's when I started using drugs, and I started doing stuff to stay up also.
So how would you make $1,000?
Basically seeing guys, a whole bunch of different guys doing what they wanted, like selling myself basically.
So you had said that he beat you?
Yeah, he would hit us girls a lot. Like, for any little thing, if he didn't like the way we talked to him, he would hit us. He would, and to hurt our families and everything. Like, he would tell us like a lot of threats. He would be like, I'm gonna have a whole bunch of guys come and they could pay only $20 and they'll do whatever they want with you. And he would tell us, you could cry as loud as you want. I'm gonna take out the phone from the room so you can't call nobody, and I'm not gonna help you. Getting what money though, when I didn't even get $1 out of it. I probably made over $20,000 the whole time I was working for him, and I never got a dollar out of it. I never got shoes, I never got clothes, nothing. And I always needed clothes when I was with him. I would always tell him, I don't have clothes. I've been wearing like the same thing. I need new clothes. And he wouldn't care. He would just care about himself.
How much would what cost? I don't know how that works.
Like,
is that
it just like really depends on like the pimp basically, because he's the one that sets the prices for you. Mm-hmm. And on the days where like we were making good money, Shai would be okay with us having our prices high, which was like $200, $300 for an hour or whatever. But when there was no money coming in, he would tell us, okay, you guys are going to start doing like $70 for an hour. You guys are going to start doing $50 for this much time. And it kind of like made you feel like crap, because it's like, why am I going to go? My price is so low for so much time.
Were you ever scared when you were with these, were they just random guys?
Yeah, because they were random guys, and we never knew if it was going to be like a cop and us get in trouble for like prostitution or something. And there's times where the guys have tried to rob us. They would stalk us. There's times where the guys would threaten us. There's times where guys would try to kidnap us and everything. And it's just really scary, because you never know who's the next guy who's going to walk in through that door. You don't know what they're capable of. You don't know what they have on them or anything. So it is scary, because a lot of the guys, they would get mad at us too. So it's like you never really knew. It was always risky. It was always a risk you were going to take it, answering the door. So,
Bianca, how many times have you had a gun pointed at you?
While working, I had a few times, but mostly it was by Shai when he wanted to like threaten us and stuff. So, I don't know.
You don't know how many times?
It was a lot. But Shy always had this gun, and he would always have it loaded. And he would point it at all of us, like, trying to play around. But we would be scared because his finger would be by the trigger and it's loaded. So it's like, I don't know, like.
Did you ever think you were gonna die?
Yeah, like I started thinking that this past time I was working for him because he beat me quite a few times. He recorded me crying on the floor while he beat me. He had me go in the car naked with a blanket wrapped around me, threatening to sell me on my birthday. So it's like, I spent my 18th birthday locked in a hotel room. They made me think that we were going to go to Disneyland. We were going to do all this fun stuff. And he got mad at me because I asked him, what are we going to do for my birthday? And that's why he beat me and stuff.
How many of you girls would be in a hotel room?
Sometimes it was 10 of us in one room. And sometimes we would get at least 2 or 3 rooms just for all of us to be able to work. Because he just wanted money. So he said, oh, if we need to get more rooms, because you guys are getting so many guys, then we'll do that. He's like, because we don't want to miss out on no money.
So he would take pictures and videos of all of the girls, whether they were underage or not, post them on his Instagram, his Twitter, his Facebook, his Snapchat.
Yeah.
And then that's how people would be like, hey, I want to book a with this girl. Or
Not really.
I don't understand.
There's a website. It's like Craigslist, and it has a section for escorts.
Is it Backpage?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I had a section for escorts, and that's where the girls would post their ads and stuff. And yeah, and we would get like a texting app number, and they would call us, and we would talk to them and give them the address, and we wouldn't like discuss nothing except for like the time basically that they wanted to spend with us. But really, it was just all sex.
And you said that there was other girls too.
Yeah.
How many were there?
Some days there's 15 of us. Some days there's only 1 or 2 of us. But for the most part, there was a lot of us. And a lot of us were underage. So I was 16 when I started working for him. And I barely turned 18 on February 3rd. So I've been working for him for a while. And once I was 18, he was like, okay, now, he told me, now you could go to the clubs. He's like, now you could work there. And I was just like, oh my God. Like, he's going to have me do a lot of stuff I don't want to do now.
So why did you end up leaving him this last time?
This last time I ended up leaving him because he told me and another girl to leave because that he was going to kill us. So it's like, it was either us stay there and get shot by him and killed, or we left like he said and we would escape. He didn't think we were gonna make it like far, like from where we were. But I know like not to just sit there and wait for him to come get me. Like as soon as he told me to leave, like the girl I was with, she was confused. She didn't know what to do. I told her, we're gonna go to the gas station. I'm gonna ask somebody to use their phone and we're gonna get out of here. And she was scared. She was crying. She kept crying and she was really scared and I was scared too, but I wasn't gonna sit there and cry at a gas station and wait for somebody to ask me if I needed help.
Are you scared you're gonna go back to doing it again?
Honestly, not really, but at the same time it is a temptation because it's fast money. It's a lot of money, but honestly, I don't think I'm gonna go back at all. Like, to go through all this already for the past few years, like with my life, and it's just, I don't want to do none of it anymore. Like, I just want to do good. Like, it sucks when you're in a hotel room and you're seeing your friends post on Instagram, Snapchat, or whatever about how they're graduating from high school, they're going to prom, they're doing all this stuff, and you couldn't do it because you were in hotel rooms. You were working. Woke up, I look at TV, and next thing you know, it's saying Ariel Gazar, Araceli Mendoza, and I'm just like, wait, what? Like, and I started crying. I'm not gonna lie, like, I was crying, not because, like, oh my God, I'm so sad he's locked up, but because I'm relieved. I feel like, okay, he's locked up, I could go back to living my life. I don't have to worry about him keep contacting me, threatening me, telling me he's gonna post stuff about me if I don't work. Like, I feel relieved, I feel free. And the other girls feel like that too that worked for him, because they called me and they cried too. Like, we were crying on the phone together because we were so relieved. It's just, he messed up our lives really bad. And some people may say that because we decided to go with him that we messed up our own lives, but honestly, it's that he, like, if he would have never talked to us the way he did and have us do what we do, I'm pretty sure we wouldn't be so scared. We wouldn't be like, because he played a lot of mind games with us, so it's like our thinking and stuff, like, we're kind of like, we don't trust nobody no more because of it. Like, we're scared to say anything, we're scared to do something because we're always scared that he's gonna be there to do something to us.